A restaurant recently opened up in town claiming to have the best vegan burger. I went online to see exactly what they were making their patties out of. Turns out it was quinoa. So I devised my own recipe, tried it, loved it. When I ended up going to the restaurant and having theirs, I actually preferred mine. So today I'm going to show you how to make my quinoa burger patty using two applications. One of them inspired by another local restaurant, In-N-Out Burger, and the second by a third local restaurant that does Asian-inspired burgers. This one's going to be a Kalbi short rib style Korean burger.
I'm going to start out by preparing all the onions that I need for both of these dishes, cutting up the whites of the green onions so I can throw those in the Instant Pot with the quinoa, and then I'm going to use the green parts for the Korean style burger. And I'm cutting up a whole sweet onion. I'm going to use half of it raw on top of the burgers, and the other half I'm going to cut up into small dices so that I can use those in the burgers. I'm going to use an Instant Pot to cook my quinoa. You can use stovetop directions if you want. I'm adding 1 cup of water, about a 1/4 cup of diced onion, 1 cup of red quinoa, splash of liquid smoke, 2 teaspoons of no beef better than bouillon. I'm gonna mix all that together before turning it on. To cook quinoa in the Instant Pot, you need 1 cup water to 1 cup quinoa, and it cooks for 1 minute. While the quinoa cooks, I'm going to prepare both of my sauces. You're going to need a half container of silken tofu for each sauce. Obviously, I'm making mine side by side here, but if you're only going to be making one sauce at a time, you wouldn't be switching back and forth between recipes. On the right-hand side, I'm starting out with the In-N-Out style sauce. I'm adding nutritional yeast, sugar, and salt, along with ketchup and mustard. And I'm adding just a bit of xanthan gum to thicken it up. On the left-hand side, I'm adding gochujang to the tofu, some salt and sugar, and then to both I'm adding just about a half teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. I'm using a magic bullet to blend up both of my sauces. Works great for me. Any type of blender or food processor will work for both of these sauces. To the In-N-Out style sauce, I'm adding a bit of sweet pickle relish and just stirring that in. You don't want to blend that because it'll get too small. For the full recipe for both of these sauces, just follow the link below. Here I'm blending up the Korean style mayo. You want to give this a taste. I like mine to be a little bit more flavorful. When I tried this, it didn't seem to have enough flavor, so I added a bit more gochujang to the mix. Also, I wanted to spice it up a bit, so I added just about a teaspoon of Korean style chili flake. When your sauces are finished, just go ahead and set those aside until your burgers are ready to go. When the quinoa is finished, you'll have about 2 cups of cooked quinoa. Because I'm making 2 different kinds of burgers, I'm going to use 1 cup of quinoa for each burger. To one bowl, I'm going to add 1 cup of quinoa, a splash of dark soy sauce, and 1 tablespoon of chickpea flour. Go ahead and stir that up. You're looking for kind of a gummy consistency. This is your binder, the chickpea flour. So you want to be able to make this stick together. There isn't enough binder, add another half tablespoon or so of chickpea flour until it starts to come together. In the other bowl, I'm adding another cup of quinoa. This time I'm adding a tablespoon of Korean barbecue sauce. Mixing that together, and then I'm going to add my chickpea flour. You're going to need a little bit more chickpea flour for this just because of the barbecue sauce thinning out the ratio a little bit more. Mix those together, and again, once it's a nice gummy consistency, you're ready to make your patties. Now I'm going to cook these without any oil, so you need a really good quality non-stick pan if you're going to do that. To the pan, I'm adding about a 1/4 cup of each of the burger mixtures. I actually have both going here at the same time, and I have this little egg ring mold in order to help flatten it and turn it into little perfect patties. If you don't have a mold, it's not a big deal, just flatten the patties into the pan. Once you're able to get a spatula under the patties, go ahead and flip them over. You'll see they have a nice crispy texture on one side, and just let them get crispy on the other side. Now, I prefer my patties thin, that's why I only used a 1/4 cup in each of these. You could obviously add more if you wanted a thicker patty, but with this mixture, it definitely works better with thin. The patties with the Korean barbecue sauce in them were taking a little bit longer to firm up, but they got there eventually. It's optional, but if you want, add a slice or 2 of vegan cheese. I'm using Follow Your Heart's smoked Gouda. Let's assemble. Starting with the In-N-Out style, I'm adding just a bit of the sauce to one side of the bun, adding the patty with the cheese to another, throwing on some raw onion, a couple of slices of Roma tomato, and a small handful of chopped romaine lettuce. For the Korean style burger, I'm starting out with a base of some more of that Korean style barbecue sauce, adding my patty with the cheese, generous slathering of the gochujang mayo on top, green onion, romaine lettuce, and some kimchi. Throw the bun on top, and there you go. And there you have two easy, healthy, and delicious vegan burgers. Those quinoa patties, they're great in pretty much any burger application you put them in, and those sauces are great on pretty much any other sandwich you want to put them in. Just a note here, the buns that I use were a store brand bun I got from my local grocery store. I find that the store brands are often the ones that are vegan, so just read your labels.
All right, well, here we have quinoa burgers two ways. Let's take a taste of the first one. This is the Korean style here. It has a Korean barbecue marinade inside of the quinoa patty. I actually have a cheese here, which is a smoked Gouda follow your heart cheese. We have kimchi, green onions, and the gochujang sauce that we made with tofu and gochujang. So let's give it a taste. So good. The texture of that patty is so great. You get a great chew from the quinoa. All the flavors go great together. The spiciness of the marinade comes through, and that gochujang sauce is perfect on here. Let's taste the In-N-Out style now. So we made a In-N-Out style spread sauce with tofu. We have, again, follow your heart, smoked Gouda cheese, onion, tomato, lettuce. Let's give it a taste. Tastes just like In-N-Out, from what I can remember. So, give these burgers a try. I know you're gonna love them. Quinoa patties are definitely the way to go.